Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the Humboldt Unified School District Board. At this time, if you can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Mrs. Clifford, will you please call roll?
Thank you. President Wolcott, Vice President Mazan,
Here.
Member Unbricht,
Here.
Member Sprague,
Here.
Member Dellinger.
Here.
Let the record reflect that we have a quorum. Have a great meeting.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda review and accept. Superintendent Dahl, are there any changes to today's agenda?
Thank you. There actually is. So Vice President Mazan and board members, after the agenda was posted, it was discovered that one invoice included in voucher number 2650, which was a payment for policy services for ASBA, PO number 262146 in the amount of $3,356, was inadvertently paid to a former vendor rather than the current vendor. The error was identified after payment was issued, and the process to recover the funds actually has been initiated already. The remaining payments included in the voucher are accurate. Because of that, because the payment has already been issued, removing the voucher from tonight's agenda would not reverse the payment. The error will be corrected through our accounting procedures, and we will report the resolution back to the board. Therefore, it is our recommendation to approve the ratification of the voucher as presented in consent.
Okay. So we will need a motion. Do we have to motion for the ratification? Okay, so just to approve the agenda as ratified. No, not as presented.
Oh.
We ratified it.
Is ratified something different than presented? Okay. Motion to accept the agenda as modified, ratified, amended.
Second.
Did you get that?
Are we voting?
Yeah, oh, sorry, that's me. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we're moving on to current events. Board members, do you have anything to share this evening? Go ahead, Dr. Dellinger.
Okay, so last month I attended the National Conference of School Boards for Academic Excellence in Charleston, South Carolina, as a guest of the organization. I'm very grateful to SBAE for covering my conference expenses and to the Arizona Women of Action for their recommendation, which made this incredible opportunity possible. It was a pleasure to meet with like-minded school board members from across the nation and a privilege to learn from private sector policy experts, researchers, and attorneys at the forefront of educational reform that is focused on academic achievement and parental rights. The conference also provided access to policy resources and no-cost alternatives that may prove valuable as our board continues its governance work. As we take the time to review the new trust policies more thoroughly, for example, these resources can help us consider alternative language and, where appropriate, additional provisions beyond those we adopted under a compressed timeline in April and May. Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, Mr. Sprague, go ahead.
Yes, I was able to go to our thing at the town center the other day. We had a booth down there, and I was on it for a couple hours and got to meet the community. It was to promote our district, and it was, and me and Kate got to work together, and it was enlightening, and we got to meet to a lot of great people. So, from our district. Okay, thank you.
Sue, do you have anything? Yep. Okay. On to you, Mr. Superintendent Dahl.
Yeah, it's there's always something to update because there's so much amazing work going on. What I'm going to update you guys on tonight is our Leadership Institute that has been taking place the last 2 days with our district level directors, our principals, and our assistant principals. I can't tell you how honored I am to sit in this position shoulder to shoulder with such amazing district level folks, such amazing principals, such amazing assistant principals. We took time to really slow down and get prepared for the school year with our mission of all students will learn at high levels because of what we do. We slowed down, we built goals, goals that align to the superintendent goals that we have, goals that align to growing proficiency in our students. And one of the most exciting parts was the action steps that go alongside it. To hear the conversations of our leaders, I can't tell you how excited I am to start this next school year and the experiences that we'll be providing for our students. We have some amazing folks, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. You know, we have amazing folks we're going to be celebrating some of our transportation people this evening as well. It's, again, just such an honor to be working shoulder to shoulder along so many wonderful people. So we've had a great couple of days, and we're super excited about what the year holds.
Thank you, and thank you to everybody who shared this evening. Moving on to item number 4, celebrating successes. I'd like to invite Ms. Crystal Anglin up and take the floor.
Vice President Mazan, right? Superintendent Dahl, and members of the governing board. Tonight, it's an honor and a privilege to recognize our transportation VIPs, Mr. Andrew Werwin and Miss Barbara Johnson, for their unwavering dedication and positive impact they make on our students, staff, and community each day. Whether transporting students safely to and from school, field trips, athletic events, Andy and Barb play an essential role in making these experiences possible. Their commitment, professionalism, and care ensure every journey is safe, reliable, and welcoming. First, Mr. Andy. I'll have him come up here. So this is Mr. Andy. Mr. Andy, his impact extends far beyond just transporting students to and from school. He's always willing to help create positive and memorable experiences for students, whether driving for a field trip, a club activity, or athletic event. When plans change, as they often do in the transportation world, he is always very flexible, accommodating, and easy to work with. His positive attitude and willingness to go the extra mile makes him a valued member of our team and an important part of our students' success. Thank you, Mr. Andy. Sure. Okay, so my second VIP is Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara.
Can we kick him out?
Who brought him? Her ability to connect with students, maintain high expectations while they ride the bus, and create positive, welcoming environment has made her an invaluable member of our transportation department. She builds meaningful relationships with students while ensuring that safety and respect remain top priorities. In addition, she is flexible, dependable, and always willing to help wherever she is needed. Her accommodating nature and positive attitude make her a pleasure to work with and a trusted team member. Thank you, Ms. Barbara. Thank you and congratulations to the both of you. We're super appreciative of everything that transportation does for our district. And then at this time, we are also going to celebrate district office personnel. And I will hand the floor over to Mr. Dahl and Mr. Tannehill.
Okay. We are celebrating our district office folks as well. Oh, this is a different view. All right, that's what we look at like up there. So, Vice President Maison, wonderful board members, and just Mrs. Derrickson and all of our wonderful distinguished guests. Thank you for being here. This is fun. Our first district VIP that we are going to celebrate is Mrs. Jamie Tisdale. Come on up here if you would. Board members, it is my privilege to share with you the district office VIP for this school year, Mrs. Jamie Tisdale, Communications Specialist and Community Liaison for Humboldt Unified School District. I should have brought my readers. From the moment you begin working with Jamie, it becomes immediately evident that she is committed to making our district the very best it can be. While her title reflects Communications and Community Engagement Specialist, the impact she has on our organization extends far beyond her job description. Whether she is developing district communications, managing social media, designing publications, coordinating events, supporting campuses, or finding creative ways to celebrate students and staff, Jamie approaches every task with professionalism, creativity, and genuine enthusiasm. What stands out most about Jamie is her positive attitude and willingness to help wherever she is needed. She consistently goes above and beyond to support schools, departments, and district initiatives. Her artistic talent is evident throughout the district office, from beautifully designed bulletin boards and welcoming displays to creative celebrations complete with stickers, bubble machines, and thoughtful touches that make people feel valued. She has a remarkable ability to transform ordinary moments into memorable experiences while ensuring that every communication reflects the pride we all have in Humboldt Unified School District. Jamie is also an exceptional learner and problem solver. She embraces new systems, technologies, and challenges with curiosity and determination, quickly mastering new skills while always looking for ways to improve. Her attention to detail and ability to anticipate potential challenges make her a trusted partner on countless projects. Colleagues know they can rely on Jamie not only to produce high-quality work, but also to ask the right questions, find thoughtful solutions, and consistently deliver beyond expectations. Perhaps Jamie's greatest strength is the positive influence she has on those around her. She makes every person she encounters feel welcomed, supported, and appreciated. Her energy is contagious, her professionalism unwavering, and her commitment to serving our students, staff, families, and community is evident in everything she does. She elevates every project, every event, and every interaction through her creativity, dedication, and genuine care for others. Successful organizations depend on individuals like Jamie Tisdale, people who quietly make everyone around them better while never seeking recognition for themselves. Her contributions have strengthened our district's connection with our schools and community and have helped showcase the outstanding work taking place throughout her Humboldt Unified School District each and every day. It is with great pride and appreciation that I present Mrs. Jamie Tisdale as one of our district office VIPs. I'd like to say just a few words really fast. We have another one. Mike and I arm wrestled and he won, so he gets to introduce our next VIP.
Our next district VIP, it is my honor to introduce Leticia Barker. It is my privilege to share with you the district office VIP for this school year, Miss Leticia, or as I call her, Letty Barker, our business manager for the Humboldt Unified School District. It only takes a short time working alongside Letty to recognize the tremendous value she brings to our district each and every day. While her title is business manager, her impact reaches far beyond the responsibilities listed in her job description. Through years of dedication, experience, and continuous learning, Letty has developed an incredible depth of knowledge that benefits not only the business office, but virtually every department across the district. Simply put, she is one of those rare professionals who makes everyone around her more successful. One of the first things you'll notice about Letty is her willingness to help. No matter how busy she may be, she always takes the time to answer questions, explain complex processes, and guide others towards understanding. Colleagues often joke that Letty is the district's Google search. Because if someone has a question, she is usually the first person that we call. More often than not, she already knows the answer. If she doesn't, she usually knows where to find it. Her commitment to helping others learn, not simply giving them answers, has strengthened the countless employees and made our entire organization more capable. What truly distinguishes Letty is her ability to manage multiple responsibilities while remaining organized, efficient, and solution-oriented. She consistently balances competing priorities, supports departments across the district, and delivers accurate, high-quality work. Whether resolving an issue, explaining a complex process, or helping a colleague navigate a challenge, Letty is knowledgeable, direct, and always focused on finding the best solution. Letty is the definition of a collaborative professional. She understands that the success of our district depends on strong relationships and teamwork, and she models those qualities every day. Her knowledge is an invaluable resource, but it is her willingness to share that knowledge that truly sets her apart. She believes in building the capacity of those around her, knowing that when others grow, our entire district becomes stronger. Successful organizations depend on individuals like Letty Barker. She works tirelessly behind the scenes, often without recognition, so we're thrilled to recognize her today, ensuring that departments have the support they need to serve students, staff, and families effectively. Her professionalism, expertise, and servant-hearted leadership have earned the trust and respect of colleagues throughout the entire district. It is with great pride and appreciation that I present Miss Letty Barker as the District Office VIP. And I can tell you I've learned a lot from Miss Letty Barker.
once again, another huge congratulations to every single VIP. Our district could not function without every single portion and part of it, and we are so appreciative of every single one of you. Moving on to our next item on the agenda, public participation. At this time, there are no requests for public participation, so we will move on to consent items. Dr. Dellinger, do you mind reading gifts and donations today?
Not at all, it would be an honor.
Thank you.
To Bradshaw Mountain High School from the United States Tennis Association, Inc., girls' tennis supplies, $2,500. To Mountain View Elementary from United Healthcare Community Plan, 3 new books per student, as well as an additional 300 books for the school library, $15,808.81, and my heart flies. To the Family Resource Center from the United Methodist Church and Michael Mefford, 5 boxes of clothing and hygiene products, along with 3 $25 Walmart gift certificates, $460. From Amber Baltera, Ace Hardware, snacks for students and families, $200. To HUSD from Robex, High Desert Pet Cremation, and Paula Poitras, 4 Robex drinks coupons and 4 Chick-fil-A gift cards, $80.
Okay, thank you. And at this time, we will need a motion to approve all of the consent items as presented.
Motion to approve all consent items as presented.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Sprague, seconded by Ms. Unbricht. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving all the way down to action items. Our first one will be consent items removed for separate consideration. Am I reading that correctly? Yeah. Which we've done that, okay, okay. And we talked about that. Request for approval, proposal of new, renewal of contract with Yavapai Library Network. YLN. Oh, that was the first one. I'm sorry, ahead of myself here. B, you are correct. Request for approval, proposal of new superintendent evaluation tool. That will, Ms. Wolcott is not here, so who will be, am I presenting that?
So, yeah, I think just open it up.
Okay, yeah, let's open it up for comments and conversation. I know that there was robust discussion around this at the last meeting, and so does anybody have any more that they would like to bring to our attention? Go ahead, Dr. Dellinger.
Evaluation tool, right?
Yes, ma'am, evaluation tool.
Okay, so let me begin by saying that I'm not sure why the evaluation tool is before us tonight as an action item when it did not come up first to the board as a discussion item. The sequence of events yet again asks the board to vote on a governance matter before there's been adequate opportunity for discussion and refinement among a quorum in an open session. The sequence matters because it has resulted in the board considering an evaluation instrument without first addressing the underlying purpose of the December 2026 evaluation. December 2026 is an interim evaluation, as the board-approved superintendent's goals specifically state, quote, by the end of the 2026-27 school year, end of quote. Because this is an interim evaluation and the superintendent's goals extend through the end of the 2026-27 school year, there is no basis for a differentiated evaluation in December. Furthermore, the rubric is not sufficiently objective to make those distinctions fairly, nor does it establish parameters for the superintendent's evidence. The responsibility for distinguishing among levels of performance properly belongs to the board seated in January 2027, after the superintendent has had the full opportunity to achieve the board-approved goals that the board publicly adopted for the 2026-27 school year. For those reasons, I can't support the rubric in its current form.
Thank you, Dr. Dellinger. Anybody else? Okay, so do you have a suggestion? Are you wanting to use what we already have in place? Are you wanting to get it as a discussion item prior to an action item?
Yes.
So that is your,
Yes,
that is your
Discussion item
recommendation.
before we have a, yeah, we can't do
yeah.
this from the dais tonight.
So
a
if you would like to
discussion item-
make the motion to table this,
Yeah,
then we can move forward.
I move to table this discussion to the next meeting, or to a próxima, coming
Okay.
meeting.
Motion by Dr. Dellinger, seconded by Mr. Sprague. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Now moving on to action item C, request for approval, renewal of the contract with Yavapai Library Network, presented by Mr. Dahl.
Okay, so this is our agreement with Yavapai County Network. It's a consortium dedicated to enhancing library services across Yavapai County. Obviously, it's established in 1985 as a partnership between Yavapai College Library and the Prescott Public Library. It's since expanded over 50 multi-type libraries, including K-12 academic, public, private, and special libraries. This is the just an extension of the contract that we have with, or agreement that we have with them. So I'll turn it over to you guys to discuss.
Thank you. I will open the floor for discussion. If anybody has anything that they'd like to say. Dr. Dellinger, please.
I was surprised actually to see this agreement including in consent, given the extensive discussion surrounding the YLN when the board considered renewal last year. For that reason, I request that it would be removed for separate consideration. I also note that the board has not yet had the another opportunity to discuss the Yavapai network since last year's renewal. I see that as a missed opportunity. The board has a responsibility to conduct a much more thorough review of the agreement of library support services and membership in the Yavapai Library Network before it comes before us for renewal again. Interestingly, at the SBAE conference last month, agreements establishing membership in regional library networks were discussed extensively, both in formal presentations and among board members from across the country. I came away understanding that governance questions surrounding these regional library agreements are shared by many rural school districts across the country, including districts that are very much like our own. If this agreement were before me for the first time today, I would not support it. However, I also recognize that our district has become dependent on these services, and I do not believe it would be responsible to terminate the agreement without first conducting a thorough evaluation and developing a thoughtful transition plan if one is warranted. For that reason, I will not oppose renewal of this agreement. In my judgment, however, the board has a responsibility to begin its deliberations well in advance of the next renewal. It is imperative that we understand the financial, operational, and governance implications of this agreement beyond the contract amount paid to the Yavapai Library Network, so that we can make an informed, long-term decision rather than one driven by our dependence on the current arrangement.
Thank you, Dr. Dellinger. Anybody else? So I, along with Dr. Dellinger, have many reservations about this program, and I have been vocal about them in the past. I know that we had an opt-in option, and during our agenda review, I was shared data that not a lot of parents opted in, and so rather this time, it'll be an opt-out option. Is that correct?
I think that's a discussion that we should have, and I would like to share with you the data that you referenced so that we have an understanding. Do you want me to speak to that now?
Please.
Okay, perfect. So we all want to make sure that our kids are reading, right? That is such an important part of who we are as a school district. We also all want to be we want to be cognizant, and we want kids to be reading appropriate information. There's no doubt about that. That is a high priority for everybody. So the data that Vice President Maison alluded to was we sent out multiple communications to our families, and the opt-in turns out it presented a challenge. We have close to 5,000 students in our district. And after multiple attempts, we got 538 responses in total. If you do some simple math, that's about approximately 12% of our population even responded to it. And because it was an opt-in, that meant the students whose families didn't respond to that also missed out on those services because of the opt-in. What we did have was 14 of them, of that 538, 14 of them did request that their children did not have access to YLN. And I think that's really important. What an opt-out would mean is that we still protect that parent right. That's very important to all of us. And we're not disregarding that, but those parents who, or those families that didn't respond, those kids missed out on literacy opportunities. And that's a piece that we also want to be cognizant of. So we got about 3% of our total 3% of the respondents did not want those services for their children. And again, that was only 538 responses. And it was less than 1% of our total population that had, according to this data, a concern about YLN. And again, we want to be very respectful of that. I do think we need to consider an opt-out versus an opt-in. I think we have some data that we didn't have last year. And so that I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Board members, Ms. Enbricht.
So the 4,500 where there was no response, the students were unable to check out books from the library?
Some of our books are not through the YLN network, so they are able to or they are able to check out some books, but they don't have access to as many books.
So like, are all these books in this room ours, or YLNs, or a mixture? I just don't know.
They're basically a mixture, and that makes it challenging as well.
Right, so they come over and they loan us some books or something? Is
Yep.
that what it is? Thanks.
Yeah. I think Dr. Dellinger's point of we've become reliant on it is yeah, that makes it challenging.
It's challenging. And also, I believe for the checking in and checking out, if I remember. And also for the checking in of books, if I remember, we rely on YLN.
Yes.
So we rely on them for like some clerical duties as well.
Yep.
Which is kind of a lot of work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay. It's good to just know the parameters of what we're talking about.
I'm going to invite Mrs. Kada up as well, who works very closely with YLN, to help us clarify any questions we might have.
Good evening, all. I'm just here as a backup for anything. So I'll respond in first to the question as far as the check-in, check-out process. So we rely on the Follett system of YLN. So they help with all of the cataloging, the in, the out, all of that. So if we were to sever that relationship, we would need to have a contract with Follett to be able to do that, but also that would only allow for the check-in, check-out, but again, it wouldn't be to a broader network. And the maintenance of our current collection would be on the sole responsibility of our STEAM aides, STEAM/library, who are severely underpaid. I just have to put that part in there in terms of their workload of how much they already do. So severing the relationship with YLN at this point would have really big consequences for us. Yeah.
Okay, so just in general terms, when I look at this, is 25% of them ours and 75% YLN, or
So
50-50?
it is confusing. There was kind of some chatter. It in some ways depends on what site you're at. So for example, YLN reached out to me today and said, what day do the STEAM/library aides, when are they back? We have book boxes for them. So that means that they have collected new books over the summer that they then make available. And so it's an influx of new titles. So since Arizona doesn't fund libraries, and it's always up to the school district to fund libraries, what happens is there's a big disparity on what collections different sites have, depending on what their PTA could have afforded to supplement. Perhaps they had a really successful book fair. It's always kind of dependent. So the equalizer is YLN.
Just, again, trying to put my mind around it. So sometimes, like, would a student pick a book and want to check it out, and then they would be said, oh, no, you can't check that one out? Is that what happens?
That would be, in the circumstance that we were just discussing with so few students having a parent response, that would have been a possibility for sure.
So it probably did happen.
I'm going to, and Mrs. Tannehill can speak to this if needed. Sorry. I'll refer to a conversation that I had with her librarian at the time. So the statistics of Humboldt is that as one of our most rural schools, they have been our highest use of YLN resources. Humboldt kids read. They read. What happened is that after we were requiring that parents sign off, their kids did not check out a single book in quarter 1 of last quarter.
That is correct, because our library has so many.
Sorry. I just think it's really important.
We share a lot of our collection out, and we get a lot of the collection in from YLN. So there is every single day boxes coming in from the courier and boxes going out from the courier. And I think one of the best ways that I would, on the fly, I would suggest coming out to the sites, talking to the librarians, making an informed decision, and seeing how the operation really works sometime once the school year is up and going.
Dr. Dellinger.
Thank you. I've already begun doing that. I think we're talking about several different issues here. One issue is the parental consent and what's going on. And the second issue is what we really know is happening. So, for example, let's just take two things that came up. Follett. I've dealt with Follett. It's not the only catalog company out there. There are a lot cheaper ones. Barnes & Noble does a great job. Those are things that all have to be would have to be researched. The boxes coming in, the boxes coming out. Who's controlling the boxes coming in and the boxes coming out? Where does that clerical work come from? Does it come from our paras?
So it's a combination. So the book drop-off is handled by YLN and the taking, but the library staff, our library staff, are tasked with pulling the books for them to be able to go out. Yes.
So I would be interested in knowing how many man-hours goes into doing the clerical work that the Yavapai Library Network, has the advantage of. So I think that what I'm looking for is a deeper study.
Okay.
What are the advantages? I'm not saying cut it off now. It's a huge problem to me. I don't think it's going to be a secret to anybody who's ever been in a meeting with me that literacy is at the heart of my whole philosophy and my whole, the whole center of my life. And it's what most concerns me about the district and the nation where we're going. But they're two separate efforts. We need to know what this is all about. And then if we need to transition, then we look at if a transition is possible, how long it will take us, what we need to do, if we have the funding, if we have the grants, it's a long thing. It's not black or white. It's not yes or no tonight. What I'm saying is we don't have enough information.
Okay.
Mr. Sprague, go ahead.
Just for clarification on my part, we're talking about books that are actually in this library that have been requested by teachers or someone or personnel. We're not talking about the library across just down the street from here where a student can go in there and take out whatever they want, correct? We're talking about just our personal, our school libraries, not, but we get the books from the public library, correct? Am I mistaken? So we have no control over what, if some student goes into the public library, they can take out whatever book they want, correct?
Of course, if they just walk
Yeah,
to the public library this evening, they would be welcome to take
But our books are already
whatever.
screened prior to coming into our
Correct.
library. Okay,
Yes, that
that's
is
the
correct,
question I had.
yes.
Okay. That's all.
Anybody else? I did have a question for Mrs. Tannehill. Sorry. Did I hear you correctly? You said not, or like many students didn't check out books in quarter 1. What changed from quarter 1 to quarter 2?
So first of all, we had a huge staffing change. So we had 3 library or STEAM aides throughout the school year last year. Deborah Reynolds was our librarian for many, many years. She retired at the end of 2025. So last year, in the midst of everything happening of do we use YLN, are we getting the surveys out, we had a brand new librarian who then subsequently left in October. We had another librarian come in like right after fall break, and she ended up leaving us around Christmas break. So it wasn't until we got the right person in the seat that we were able to really catch steam and move forward. The surveying process was very slow going with just a person who didn't really understand, 2 people that really didn't understand what was happening in the process. We really tried to help support, we being the office staff, but it really was the surveying, as much as we want to help support getting books in our kids' hands. It was also one of those huge distractions when we were really focused on the real work of teaching our students. Library is a special area class our kids go to once or twice a week. It's always been an opportunity for the kids to go in, get a book off the shelf, take it home with them, read it in the class, read it for homework. We were kind of punting and trying to figure out how to best get books in kids' hands while we were going through that transition, and the surveying slowed us down exponentially, is what I can tell you. So I hope that helps.
Yes, thank you.
Of course.
Any other discussions or questions? Go ahead, Mr. Sprague.
Oh, to you, Mrs. Tannehill.
Sorry. Just for clarification, like this is the junior high library or the middle school library, the books that come in here and the kids that are in here, who screens the books coming into the library that are appropriate for the age group that we're in? And I understand we have no control over the outside public library, but as a librarian, do you get to, if a teacher decides or a student wants a certain book or a teacher wants a certain book, how is the verification that that's something that we're going to allow in our library in the first place?
So I don't know if I'm the most qualified person to be talking about the screening process.
Right.
I'm the principal of the school.
Okay.
I know that when I get, YLN will have money that they can provide new books to the school. I have to look at those, and I would think that the majority of my principal partners have had this happen as well, where we get lists of library books. We have a list of the collection that we already have in our that we own. And then YLN, specifically Mrs. Susie Roth, will send us a list of, hey, we want to add 25 new books to your collection. Please look them over. I look them over. If I'm not familiar with the book, quite frankly, I typically just Google it and look very quickly. That doesn't mean that I've read every single page of every single book, and I think that would be absurd to assume. And then if a child is requesting a book outside of our network, that is what the parents were opting in on. They were saying, yes, I want my child to have that opportunity, knowing that there is that opportunity for kids to get books that maybe are too difficult for them or that we haven't read. Now, I can tell you that the majority of the books that come across our desk, it's very clear. You can tell a child's book versus a young adult book versus a mature book. You can typically tell from looking at the cover. I know you're not supposed to judge a book that way, but flipping the book to, you can get a quick synopsis. So if a kid is requesting a book as a second grader and it looks like it's for a mature reader, our librarians are not handing that off to little Joey.
Thank you, that's
You're
what I.
welcome.
Thank you very much, that's what helped me.
Anything else?
Anybody? Oh, good.
I just wanted to say, see, that's another piece of information that you just gave us before
Yes.
about the turnover,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So those are the pieces, they're all scattered all over the place. We don't really know how it works.
Yes.
And
there's-
thank you, because I was going to call you and say, can I come over and talk to your librarian in September?
Yes, yes. And to be fair, she hasn't been at it very long. Again, not trying to punt, but you may want to talk to my librarian, you may want to talk to some of them that are more senior in the district that have been here for a longer time, that
Right.
can tell you the true process. You know, Ms. Mize has been with us since January, so.
Okay, but anyway, those are the pieces of information that I was referring to.
Yep.
Go ahead, Ms. Hendrick.
Yeah, that's interesting too, that turnover, of course, it happens. And so it's good to think about a system, a process that doesn't require somebody that's been there for 5 years to effectively run it. We need to have processes that are simple enough that the natural ebb and flow of these jobs, just a person can do it.
I think the job of being a library aide in our district is doable, and I don't know if it's the YLN piece of it that they're not capable of. If anything, YLN provides training and support to our library aides that I do not, as the school principal, I do not know how to check out books. I mean, we could probably all figure it out, but I don't know that system, therefore I can't jump right in and start checking books out for my students. Mrs. Roth comes by multiple times a year, helps teachers, or I'm sorry, the library aides learn the processes. If they have any software updates, she's always willing to help. She is providing a training to our library aides, I want to say, in a week or two. And those are trainings that no one on our current staff has that expertise to run. So there's lots of complexities here as to what that looks like. I would say the complexity level with this current position outside of the discussion of YLN is that these are our STEAM/library aides. So they are asked to essentially do multiple roles that, you know, they are not highly paid, and they do a lot for us.
Board members, anything else to discuss or ask? Okay, so I think it's my understanding with the board that we will motion to consider the approval of the contract, and if it is passed, that we kind of just gather more information throughout the year, doing our own research, visiting libraries and different sites, and also just, I guess, hearing from leadership and kind of, you know, how's it working, how's it going? Do our principals, I'd love to hear from you. Do we love it? Our librarians, the STEAM aides, all of that. And just maybe prior to July, getting something on the books, on the agenda to be able to discuss it and then maybe approve a contract at a later date. So, but for now, I will need a motion to approve the contract with Yavapai Library Network as presented.
I move to approve the contract with Yavapai Library Network as presented.
Okay, motion by Ms. Undricht, seconded by? Second. Mr. Sprague, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Moving on to our next action item. Reclassification of technology support position from level 7 to level 9, and that is Mrs. Danette Derrickson.
No, this is a great move from Linda Head, as she has diligently worked on just restructuring the IT department. This request is to move an IT technician from a level 7 to a level 9 because she has found that just restructuring duties, reassigning just how everything that she's done with reassigning schools and departments has really just been able to make the department more efficient. And so the field techs have taken on more responsibilities, so the request is to move them from a level 7 to a level 9. And in so doing, it also eliminates the need for 4 people, and she's able to do it with 3, which also saves the district about $35,000. So.
Board members, any questions? Go ahead, Dr. Dellinger.
No questions. I just want to say that I appreciate this reclassification. I think it reflects a documented expansion of responsibilities resulting from the department's restructuring, not simply an increase in compensation. I'm saying that for the public. And it's also encouraging that this restructuring continues to produce an overall savings for the district. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, so then at this time, we will need a motion to approve the reclassification of technology support position from level 7 to level 9 as presented.
Motion to approve the reclassification of technology support position from level 7 to level 9 as presented.
Okay, motioned by Mr. Sprague, seconded by Dr. Dellinger. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Action item E, an MOU with Yavapai College for Special Education Transition Student Volunteer Program, and that is presented by Miss Elizabeth Rushton.
I'm here for questions if you have questions. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Board members, any questions?
Or if you'd like me to describe it.
Go ahead, Dr. Dellinger.
No questions. I just
Okay.
wanted to say how excited I got when I read this, because this is the kind of community partnership we need to be encouraging.
Absolutely.
It gives students authentic workplace experience, and then it's tied directly to the IEP transition goals. And I really appreciate that the agreement includes strong safeguards for supervision, liability, parental consent, and student protection. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Anybody else? Ms. Hendrick.
I move to approve the memorandum of understanding with Yavapai College for Special Education Transition Student Volunteer Program as presented.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Hendrick, second by Mr. Sprague. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Action item F, motion to approve, the adoption of the Humboldt Unified School District expenditure budget for the 2026-27 school year, presented by Mr. Tannehill.
Per state statute, there's a 10-day notice for the proposed, and then the proposed becomes the adopted. Nothing of substance has changed from when it was the adopted, other than the words proposed and the date. And it'll come back again at May, again per state statute, and there's possibilities that it could come back again depending on what our funding does throughout the year.
Thank you, Mr.
Any
Tannehill.
questions?
Questions, discussion, or a motion?
I move to approve the adoption of the Humboldt Unified School District expenditure budget for the 2026-27 school year.
Okay, motion by Dr. Dellinger, second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Sprague. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the next item on our agenda is a public hearing regarding the proposed 2026-2027 Classroom Site Fund Plan. The purpose of this public hearing is to receive comments from members of the public regarding the proposed plan before the governing board considers possible action. At this time, I declare the public hearing open. I will now ask the superintendent to provide a brief overview of the proposed Classroom Site Fund Plan.
Thank you, Vice President Maison. So this was the agenda item that was tabled last month. It is the proposed Classroom Site Fund Performance Pay Program. I don't know how much detail you guys need at this point, but for the public hearing side of it, there's a couple of different levels and pieces of the performance pay requirement. So the first requirement is site and district staff development assurances, accumulated 30 inside hours. That work is designated as designing, developing, and achieving site goals and/or supporting achievement goals must be documented. Those are things that are pretty tight within our district. The second requirement is the family engagement requirement, where our staff, if, through this proposed plan, accumulates 12 outside hours of family engagement, those have to be principal approved and then sent to me for approval as well. They acquire 3 hours each of those, as communicated at the beginning of the year by the site principal. One of which of those can either be the fall or the spring parent-teacher conference, and then that work also must be documented and sent to the district office, requiring that people have met those hours. So there's appeals processes, there's all of those pieces, but I think the guts of what we're looking at approving this evening are those 2 requirements in order to receive their performance pay.
Okay. Thank you, Superintendent Dahl. At this time, I will open the floor for public comment regarding the proposed 2026-2027 classroom site fund plan. If you wish to address the governing board on this item, please come forward, state your name for the record, and limit your comments to the time allotted by board policy. All right. Okay, we will transition to board action now. The public hearing is now closed. This item comes before the governing board for discussion and possible action. Any discussion? Okay, Dr. Dellinger.
Okay, so first of all, I appreciate the work that's gone into developing this plan, as well as the strong participation by HUSD employees. An 80% response rate over a 3-day survey period is remarkable, and I appreciate receiving the feedback. That said, I respectfully point out that Meet and Confer is an advisory body. It is not an elected governing body charged with the stewardship of taxpayer dollars. That responsibility belongs to this governing board. And for that reason, policy discussions of this magnitude should come before the board much earlier in the process. I also continue to view the current plan as more of a participation pay plan than a performance plan. While it loosely supports the district's mission and goals, especially in the family piece, because I've seen that and I see that teachers do have to do preparation for that. And there's a lot of thinking that goes into the activities that are in literacy and math night, so I do want to recognize that. But the compensation itself is not tied to measurable performance outcomes in the way that most community stakeholders, i.e. the taxpayers, would understand performance pay. I recognize as well that state law now permits the inclusion of student support services personnel. My concern is not with the value of those professionals who make very important contributions to our students every day. My concern is that as eligibility expands beyond classroom instruction through Meet and Confer and employee survey, the distinction between participation pay and compensation tied to instructional performance becomes even less clear. That is precisely the kind of policy question the governing board should have the opportunity to discuss before the plan is finalized. Finally, because of the statutory timeline and the expectations created by the employee survey, I will vote in favor of this plan for this year. However, I do so reluctantly because the board has not had the opportunity for the level of deliberation that a policy of this significance deserves. In fairness to our employees, I am not willing to disrupt this year's plan. Rather, I choose to trust that the board will not find itself in this position again. Although the superintendent develops the classroom site fund plan, the board is best able to fulfill its governance responsibilities when policy discussions occur, while alternatives are still under consideration and certainly well before the statutory budget deadline. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dellinger. Any other discussion? Go ahead, Ms. Enbricht.
Yeah, I too see this as a missed opportunity for some performance pay. And I appreciate you guys getting the attorney's blessing to it, but it doesn't I mean, I know it's not all those items, that laundry list in 15,977, but this, as it is constructed, it doesn't seem to be closely aligned with the spirit of 15,977.
Thank you, Ms. Enricht. Any other questions, comments, discussion? Okay, at this time, we will need a motion.
Oh, you want me to do it? Yeah, go ahead. I move we approve the classroom site fund plan for the 26-27 school year as presented.
Motion by Ms. Enricht.
Second.
Second by Mr. Sprague. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, on to announcements. We have our next scheduled board meetings. August 13th is a regular board meeting, as well as September 10th, and those are all here in this building at 5:30 p.m. And I will need a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Dellinger, seconded by Mr. Sprague. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for being here with us this evening.